Shalom, Shalom, Israel. First, I want to give all honor and all glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashema Mashiach Komadak Yahushua. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God, and Yahushua is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world only calls Jesus Christ. I want to give a strong shalom to all the mighty men that's going out there laboring, man, putting their lives on the line to magnify the name of the Lord, and doing the scoffers, the demons, right, and everything that's trying to hinder the word of the Lord. I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty Aqua, the sisters that are at home, reverence of their husbands, being teachers of good things, tender, delicate, and on fire for the Lord in the households. Last but not least, I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty children and teenagers in this thing as well, doing all they can in the households to make their calling and election sure in the last days. And the topic of this video is it going into, are you falling out with your family members? Are you losing that relationship that you used to have with them once upon a time? You used to probably be able to go out with your family, out to eat, to brunch, go to the movies with them. Now you're not doing that. You're in the scriptures. You're in the Bible. And a lot of people, they deal with this in the truth. This is nothing new, right? This is nothing new that's underneath the sun. That's the topic of this video. Are you falling out? Losing that connection that you have. Losing that love toward them. Now they getting on you. Now your family calling you weird. They calling you all types of proverbs and reproach to the household. And our forefathers went through this. Like I said, this is nothing new under the sun that you kind of just pull out your back. No, our forefathers, they went through this. Being reproached by their family, their cousins. Now your brother calling you weird because you don't want to smoke a blunt with him anymore. But let's go to the book of Romans real fast. Let me kick this off with the book of Romans, chapter 15. Right? Now your brother getting on you. He's saying, hey, we used to smoke weed together. Why you always been in that Bible? Why haven't you hit me up lately? What's going on? That white man book got your mind wrong. Now he getting on you. Hey, man, it's folly and it's madness. But these are things that are happening in the last days. And a lot of brothers and sisters' families are going to cause them to error going forward in the truth. A lot of men, they fall out because they mom saying they're being too distant. Their father, they're getting on them. Why they don't spend time with me anymore? Next thing you know, they stop going to camp on a Shabbat to go hang out with their father. That's off. But these are stumbling blocks and stumbling stones that are going to cause certain brothers and sisters to err for the truth. Right, let's go to the book of Romans. Right? Let's go to the book of Romans. And the stories we hear, man, is crazy. Right? It's the book of Romans, chapter 15, and verse number 4. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. That's plain. Meaning everything in this Bible, in this book, and the scriptures, if it was written before time, meaning before we came on the earth as this new generation, everything in the scriptures from Deuteronomy, Genesis, Leviticus, Exodus, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, Nehemiah, it was written for us to inquire, diligent search, and learning to be able to sustain ourselves in the last days. It says that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So you have to be able to read these scriptures, go through the accounts, and have hope of the second coming of the Lord that you might be delivered. Right? Let's go to the book of Psalms. Right? So like I said, the stories we hear is crazy, man. And I did a video on this not too long ago, but I believe it got deleted. Right? You know, you got brothers telling me, you know, they mom kicking them out. Right? Because they want to keep the Sabbath day. So they mom kicked them out the front door. So you got to find somewhere to go. You got men's dad saying, hey, we got a trip to Six Flags, and it's the Shabbat. It's the Sabbath. Next thing you know, all hell break loose. You're not going to Six Flags, you got to get out my house. These are things that are happening every day on a day-to-day basis. It was one time my father, man, it was the Day of Atonement. Now, he never bring me nothing from the gas station ever. On the Day of Atonement, he literally brought in a brisk and said, here you go, son. Now, you got to see everything spiritual, right? That was Satan that was on him. And Satan is going to cause certain brothers and sisters to err through their family. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 69. So, King David, he had to deal with this, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 69. Psalms. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 69. And I'm going to start at verse number 4. Right? I'm going to start at verse 3. Psalms, chapter 69 and 3. It says, I am wearing of my crying. My throat is dried. My throat is dry. My eyes fail while I wait for my God. Verse 4. They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of my head, and they that would destroy me, being my enemies, wrongfully are mighty. Then I resorted that which I took not away. So David said, they that hate me, it's felt like they're doing it without a cause. And that's how you might feel. You might feel like your family hates you. They despise you. They look at you down. You got certain sisters, their mom is getting on them because she's wearing a dress. She come in, she knock on the door. Then you don't even say, you could come in. She just kind of open up the door. Next thing you know, she said, what's up? Why are you wearing these dresses? What is that carpet at the end of your dress? Now the sister, she's getting spooked and she's uncomfortable. She doesn't want to put a dress on anymore. It might feel like these men are targeting your soul. Why? Because that's the spiritual demon Satan that's hopping on your parents. And the Lord prophesied this from old. Let me hold that. Let's go to Micah. Right? Let's go to the classic. Let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 7. That's what you have to learn, man. This stuff is going to happen. You can't kind of try to dodge it and go around. There's things that you have to go through in order to get to the next level. Yes, your family is going to get on you. They're not going to like you. You're not going to be buddy-buddy in the truth. Hand join in hand with your worldly family members. The Lord said this is already going to come to pass. And it was prophesied from old. Right? It's the book of Micah, chapter 7, and verse number 6. Micah, chapter 7, and verse number 6. It says, for the son dishonoreth the father. The daughter riseth up against her mother. And you got parents in this thing, they getting despised by their children. Right? The father, he start keeping his beard. He's wearing the fringes. Next thing you know, the kids are scoffing against him. Saying, Dad, why do you have a beard? You used to shave. What do you have a beard on your face for? What is that carpet at the end of your shirts? Why you always in that Bible, Dad? So you got the kids, they getting on the parents. It says the daughter rises up against her mother. You got daughters getting on the moms now. It says the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. See that? So this was prophesied from over 2,000 years ago to happen. You can't change what's going to come to pass. It's literally prophesied in the Bible that your own enemies will be the own people of your house. Your dad, your uncle, your brother. Like I said, it was a brother, he told me he kind of fell out with his brother because he didn't want to smoke weed with him no more. So these things, they happen every day. Somebody that's new coming into the truth, this is what they got to go through. This is nothing new. Let me bring this out in 1 Peter. A lot of you men and women just think this is new. Right? You think this is something just kind of pulled up out the bag that's happening to man for the first time. No, this has been happening from ages of ages long ago. That's why the Lord said, "Inquire of the old ages." Right? This First Peter, chapter 4, and verse number 12. First Peter 4 and 12. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning a fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you." So the Lord said, don't think it's strange that you're going through these certain things that's listed in the Bible. Right? Being hated of all men, persecution, revilings. The Lord said, don't think it's strange. That's why you have to read. The Lord said this was going to come to pass, and it is going to happen. Now it's up to you to see how you're going to handle it as a man and a woman of the Lord. But let's go back to Psalm chapter 68. Right? So it's in the air. It's out there already. Let's go to Psalm chapter 69. Right? It's the book of Psalms chapter 69 and verse number 8. Psalm 69 and 8. And this is King David. It says, "I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children." Now, you got certain men in the truth. They got brothers and sisters, cousins, uncles, right? King David said, "I am become a stranger unto my brother." You might have a twin. Some people, they have twins, right? A twin brother or a twin sister. David said, "I am a stranger." Now, what does it mean to be a stranger? Meaning you're alienated and you're distant from that specific person for a dispensation of time. Why? Because you want to follow righteousness. These people, you got to get it through your head, whether they're your family or not. These people, they don't want to follow righteousness. Stop thinking you break it down Deuteronomy 28 to your family down 50,000 times, and you thinking they're gonna get it on the 50th try. Brother, what you gotta really understand in the truth is not for everybody. Everybody can't stop what they're doing and just coming to the truth automatically. It's really all predestination of the Most High. And on another fold, these people are wicked. You really think your mom want to change her ways of stop eating pork? Let's just be honest. Your daddy want to change his ways of eating shellfish and crabs? Do you really think that? No, these people, they love what they do. They love wickedness. They love being in darkness. It feels good to their flesh. But the Lord have chose you. Let's get that in Jeremiah 3 and 14. Right? The Lord not choosing everybody. The Lord saw some potential and something special about you that he saw in you, and he chose you out of everybody in your household. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 3. All right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 3. All right? This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse number 14. It reads, "Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city." It's been a time I thought I was the only brother, literally the only person in my city to be in the truth. You might feel like that. You're in solitude. You're by yourself. The Lord said I would take one of a city. Now, literally in a city of, it could be Indianapolis. The population might be well over 500,000 people. Imagine one person out of 500,000 men and women in the truth, right? The Lord said I would take you one of a city and two of a family. You have certain men, they're really the only two in their family to know the truth. And I will bring you to Zion. Meaning the Lord will bring you to his holy mountain, to the understand, the knowledge, the commandments. These things happen every day. Let's go to 1 Chronicles chapter 28. All right? Let's go to the book of First Chronicles, chapter 28, and verse number 4, right? First Chronicles, chapter 28 and 4. It says, howbeit the Lord God of Israel chose me before all the house of my father to be king of Israel forever. Now David's father, which was Jesse, he obviously had more children than David, right? David, he had brothers. You read about that in 1 Samuel, right? The 17th chapter, the 13th chapter, right? The 12th chapter. It says, to be king over Israel forever. He have chosen Judah to be one real ruler. Now, out of all of the tribes, you have 12 tribes. Out of all of the 12 tribes, guess what tribe the Lord chose to be rulers of? He chose Judah. Stop thinking that the Lord is just choosing everything and everybody. Out of all the 12 tribes, the Lord chose the tribe of Judah to be set up to be a kings and rulers. It says what? And the house of Judah, the house of my father. Now amongst the children of Judah, the Judites, the Lord chose Jesse, David's father. And among the sons of my father, right, he liked me to make me king over Israel. And that might be on another fold, that might be you and the truth. Out of everybody in your family, it's only you and the truth. Or you and your brother. Or you and your sister. Right? And that happened to King David in the Bible. It said out of all of his brothers, the Lord liked King David to make him king and ruler over the nation of Israel. So this is nothing new. Right? This is nothing new. And the Lord said it's nothing new under the sun. In Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter. So let's go back to Psalms chapter 69. Now, with that being said, David had brother. David said he became a stranger to his brother. You know what comes with that? Being a king over Israel, you have brother. Just like Joseph. Joseph dreamed dreams. Next thing you know, Joseph's own brethren sold him into slavery. Just because they're your family, that don't mean they have your best interest. You got certain men, oh, that's my mom, right? I'm a mama's boy. My mama, she'd never let me. Brother, everything is spiritual. So what if that's your flesh and your blood? The Lord, he's looking on the spirit. He don't care if that's your grandma, right? He don't care if that's your grandpa. And the Lord, he's looking for who's going to serve him and who's not going to serve him. Let's go to Psalm chapter 69. Psalm 69 and 8 again. It says, I am become a stranger to my brethren and an alien to my mother's children. Verse 9. For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me. See that now they reproaching you. They calling you all type of names. Right? My pops, he kind of came in, he called me, he said, you acting weird, man. He said, why are you always in the Bible? That's what they say. Why are you always in that Bible? You always got a dress on. You don't come to the Christmas parties anymore. Right? You don't come to, you didn't even tell me Happy Mother's Day. These are the things that, your family say. My mom, what was that, December of last year? Probably December or November, my mom, she had called me. And she was like, so you're going to take family photos with us for Christmas, right? And pajamas. And we not dealing. We in 2022, man. This is the end of the world. We don't have time for family photos. I kind of told her, we not dealing with that. I didn't say that to her, but I kind of said it in so many words. We not dealing with family photos with pajamas on, man. The Lord don't got time for that. Now they say, well, you never spend time with us. It's a brother in my account, where I'm not gonna say his name, but he told me, he told me his mom said he be out too long with the brothers. at camp, right? And that he don't never want to spend time with them. She said, you've been out too long at camp. Where have you been? You've been at that camp, huh? Right? We're not dealing with that camp. Well, the Lord not dealing with you. Because what? We waking up the lost sheep. We don't have time for family to intervene. This is not that. A lot of you brothers and sisters, you get weak-minded. You let your mom weigh you down. Here's my mom. And you don't even know that Satan's trying to reel you in. Why? Because Satan is not going to use a man that you don't know. If a man that you don't know pull up with a pork sandwich and say, here, you want some of this? You could easily say, no, I'm not dealing with that. I don't know you, right? You're safe. But if your mom does it, your grandpa, your uncle, they pull up with a nice pork sandwich and say, you will help Granny fix this? Or you would try Granny's Baconator? A lot of you brothers and sisters that get weak, man. You say, well, that is grandma. That is OG Grams. That's what Jake said. And the Lord don't care about OG Grams. It's either you serving the Lord or you not serving the Lord. You got to stop being weak-minded. Stop letting your family get you out the spirit. Now you don't want to read. You scared. Every time they walk in, you damn close your Bible and set it to the side. You don't want them to say nothing. And we know you. Right? The Lord is not dealing with that. The Lord is going to see who's going to stand up for him. Who's going to be that woman or that man that's going to stand up for the words of the Lord, regardless of family or not. Right? Reading on. It says, verse 10, when I wept and chastened my soul with fasting, that was to my reproach. I made sackcloth also my garment, and I became a proverb to them. Now you're becoming a proverb. Now they're calling you a damn extremist. These things just happen every day. Now they saying you're weird. You're a damn... I don't know what they be saying, man, but most words I hear is weird. You know, you got certain... My parents and uncles and grandpas, they calling their child a damn retard. These things happen on a day-to-day basis. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 16. Right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 16. So what are you going to do? You're going to let your family take you out the truth? You're going to let Satan have his way with you? Who's really going to stand up for the words of the Lord, regardless? Right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 16. And I'm going to start at verse 21. Like I brought out earlier, Satan is gonna use your family to get you enticed, to bring you back and bring you captive. Like I said, if a random Jake just come up, right, and he tell you to shave your beard, you're gonna be like, what the hell? Shave my beard. I say, and keep it moving. Now your parents roll up on you. They say, what's that? You know, hey, that's what my uncle told me. He said, you say your beard is kind of uneven. You need to cut it off. And the Lord not dealing with that. But guess what? Satan's going to use your family to get you enticed and reeled in. Why? Because they're the most closest to you. That's why I'm going to bring this out in Matthew 16 and 21. Right, Matthew chapter 16 and verse 21. It says, from that time forth began Yahushua to shew unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day. So Yahushua, he's telling his 12 disciples, okay, I'm going to be killed, I'm going to be crucified, right? I'm going to rise the third day. Verse 22, then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. So Peter, he's the elect. He literally brought Yahushua to the side and said, hold on, Lord, what are you talking about? You can't die for everybody. We need you. We want you to stay here. That's your family. On this fold, Peter represents your family. That's how Yahushua, he knew that it was Satan Because Satan is going to use the people that are the most closest to you. Hey, Peter is real close to Yahushua. Peter, he's going to be third ruling and a king. He's going to literally be upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, right underneath Yahushua. And the Lord created the spirit of Peter. So Peter's real kind of close to Yahushua. It's not some average dude that's out in the open. No, Peter is real close to Yahushua. But guess what the Lord said, though? Verse 23. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me. Now, how did the Lord know that the spirit Peter was moving in was the spirit of Satan? Because it felt good to his flesh. Why? Because Satan is going to use the people that are most closest to you. Right? That's why a lot of brothers and sisters fall out because of your parents or your uncles and cousins. Right? You think you so-called gangbang. Now they getting on you. Now they calling you a preacher. And they laughing at you. A lot of you brothers and sisters get discouraged, man. Right? They throwing they saying, where's the holy water? They slapping you around in the head. They're you know, Jake, he kind of started name calling you. Are you a preacher now? I had somebody tell me that. Say, you a preacher now? These things is going to happen. A lot of you brothers and sisters get discouraged over this. This is what the Lord said. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me. For thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. See that? So the Lord got on him. He said, no, you know what? You moving in the spirit of Satan. The will of the Lord has to be done. That's what it is, man. You might have to tell your parents the will of the Lord got to be done. It is what it is. I'm going to read tonight. I'm going to study. I'm going to go out to camp. You got certain parents, and they wait for their child at camp. They starting by the door. They say, okay, you usually go out at 3 o'clock. Okay. Next thing you know, they wait for him to come outside. And then they stop at the door. They don't want him to come out. So they pushing the door in. Hey, that's evil, man. A lot of you brothers, you kind of tuck in your fringes when you're around your parents. So they won't get on you. And the Lord is not dealing with that, man. So what? You become a reproach. Right? And I had a video I wanted to pull up. Right? And this happened, you know, not too long ago. Right? This was actually December 15th. So about 2 months ago. It says, mothers question if extreme beliefs led to daughter's ex-husband's death. So this is 2 months ago. Right? You had 2 daughters, they died, and their father died. But their father, you know, he was in the truth, and the 2 daughters was in the truth. And that's what the mother had to say about it. All right, Salakia. Let me pull this video up. All right. Lord willing, brothers and sisters can see this. Right. Right, this is the video. You gotta kind of, let me see if I turn this up. Right.
Investigation you're only going to see here on Cairo 7. The mother of 2 teenage girls found dead inside their father's home is now laying out what she says led up to their deaths.
Now, the cause of death is still a mystery, but the girl's mother and stepfather suspect their extreme beliefs played a role in this. Now, they spoke only to Cairo 7's
They said the stepdaughter, basically they passed away, but they said their dad's extreme beliefs played a part in their death. All right.
He joins us now live from Everett, where the girl's mother lives. And this is a really sad and strange story, Andrew.
It certainly is. You know, it's about 2 years ago or so when their mother says she started to realize her daughters started to take on their father's religious beliefs. At first, they didn't think much of it, but those beliefs started to become more and more extreme. And now she's wondering if that played a role in their death.
See that? Esau say is more and more, and they actually say this, man. They said we the black identity extremists, right? Saying that word extreme like we just off the chain. So they might call you your mom. Don't be surprised if your mom walk in and say you a black identity extremist, nigga. Right? That these things might happen. And then she call you the N-word.
The day that I was teaching her to drive.
Betsy Alvarado can't help but smile when she thinks of her daughters, 17-year-old Adriana and 16-year-old Marielle.
They were amazing.
But all she has now are photos and memories.
Last time we hung out was actually that picture.
Her daughters were found dead inside their father's rented home this past weekend. His body found alongside them. Alvarado identifies him as 33-year-old Manuel Gill. How or why they died remains a mystery. Police say there's no evidence of foul play, forced entry into the home, carbon monoxide poisoning, or drug use.
All I do all day is try to put things together.
But Alvarado and the girl's stepfather have their own theory.
They've been being brainwashed by what they were calling their religion, but must be a cult.
Alvarado says her former husband...
She said her daughters are being brainwashed. Now your dad coming to say that white man's book, he's brainwashing you. And then she called them they said they in a cult, man. Right? I'm gonna keep playing it.
Following an extreme version of the Black Hebrew Israelites, the Anti-Defamation League
said the Black Hebrew Israelites. Right?
Being brainwashed by what they were calling their religion, but must be a cult.
Alvarado says her former husband was following an extreme version of the Black Hebrew Israelites. The Anti-Defamation League classifies some sects of the religion as a hate group. From the clothes they wore to their diet and even behavior, the girl's stepfather could see over the last 2 years how their lives started to change.
Everything just seemed to just keep on progressing and getting more extreme, more extreme.
Things became so extreme that Alvarado says she didn't spend any quality time with her daughters for the last 10 months. She says when she tried to warn the state...
I told CPS this. I told them that they don't go outside. They don't have friends.
The mom said, you know, I haven't talked to my daughters in 10 months, man. Because of their extreme Black Hebrew Israelite beliefs. This actually happened 2 months ago. Right? And they saying the reason why they really died is because of their extreme beliefs. And this is wickedness. This is how you just know that the media could portray you to be a supervillain and not even know the whole story. Right? I'm going to finish it off.
Something's going on in that house.
But nothing happened. Now the two of them have lost both girls and their father. And while they don't know how they died, they can't help but think their extreme beliefs played a role.
So we're going to be just...
See that?
Sitting in limbo.
And that's wicked, man. What's extreme about keeping the laws of the Most High? Honestly, let's just cut the bull crap. Let's just be real. What's extreme about following the laws of God? What's extreme about not eating pork and wearing your fringes and being a king on the earth? What's extreme about being a princess on the earth? But these are some of the things they say, man. Right? They say you extreme. You've been in that Bible too long. You're acting weird. You don't spend time with us. What are you? And then they kind of kick you to the curb. These things happen every single day. Right? And I believe as one video, I'm going to try to find it. As one video, she said, you know, she basically said her daughter stopped. Oh, here we go. Right?
I'm JB Pritzker.
I'm gonna pull it up through the spirit. Right? So
to support the working families.
They don't know what's going on.
There's still work to be done, but together, there's no limit to what we can accomplish.
Well, not new details about the mysterious death of a father and his two daughters in Renton. We're hearing from the mother who tells us she became concerned when they began following a new religion, even giving up on things they were passionate about.
Adriana stopped playing basketball because it was worldly. Marielle, I guess, committed some sin that was, you know, almost everything that you can do on this earth, their dad was teaching them was a sin. But
and that's right, man. Everything you do is borderline wickedness in America. We know that, right? You can't go outside, literally, because it's wickedness outside. Eve is out there. Temptation is waiting for you everywhere. That's one thing these people in the world don't understand. Temptation is everywhere. So yes, everything borderline is a sin. And this is their own mother doing this. This is their mom. She said her daughter stopped playing because it was worldly. Right? And she probably had her playing basketball on the Sabbath day. Right? So let me get this precept in Job chapter 19. So they don't know what's going on. They have no understanding of the scriptures. Let's go to the book of Job chapter 19. Said they're extremists. The Lord not dealing with that, man. Right? It's Job chapter 19 at verse 13. And you got to be willing to go through this. A lot of men, they want to stray away. Oh, I love my mom, man. Shit, my dad was never in my life. A lot of you jakes, you're mama's boys. We know you. You're your mama's boy. This is what Job said. This is Job 19 and 13. He have put my brethren far from me, and my acquaintance are verily estranged from me. My kinfolk have failed me, and my familiar friends have guided me. And, brothers and sisters lose their friends all the time. Now you got that old sister hitting you up. Girl, you don't go to the club no more, girl? What do you be doing on Friday? Why you always in the house on Friday and Saturday nights? What's going on? Next thing you know, they don't talk to you for a while. It goes 10 months. From 10 months, it goes 2 years. Hey, me personally, I don't talk to probably maybe one. But it's not even on that. If it's not relating the truth, I don't talk to them at all. I cut off all my friends from the world. Literally, all of them. This is what Job said, my familiar friends have forgotten me. Verse 15, they that dwell in my house and my maids count me for a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. And that's what the sister mom just said on the video. She said, I haven't talked, after my daughter's been following that extreme religion, I haven't talked to them in 10 months. Right? It says verse 16, I called my servant, and he gave me no answer. I entreated him with my mouth. My breath is strange to my wife. See that? A lot of you jakes, you fall out with your wife, man. As soon as you come into the truth, your wife, she's looking at you differently. She used to make you that shrimp Alfredo, right? Next thing you know, you telling her we're not dealing with that. There's no cooking, no cleaning, right? No being promiscuous, right? It's the Sabbath day. We gotta chill and rest. Next thing you know, your wife, she started looking at her other man. You forget. You literally tune out. Because when you come into the truth, your mind is being renewed. You don't care about those $500 pair of shoes anymore that you used to do in the world. You don't care about that nice outfit. You don't care about them fancy cars anymore. What you really care about is learning who you are and the commandments of God. So people that's on the outside, they're looking in on you. They're saying, something about you. You've changed. What's going on? And if they're evil and wicked, they don't like that. They're going to do everything in their power to bring you back captive in sin and wickedness. So your breath might be strange to your wife. Next thing you know, your wife leave you and go get with another man. Right? It says, though I entreated for the children's sake of my own body, yeah, young children despise me. I arose and they spake against me. Yeah, a lot of you jakes, man, and you Eves, your children, they getting on you. Saying, Mom, what's up with these dresses? Right? Why you always in the scriptures? Who is Judith? Who is Sarah? Next thing you know, they on the phone with their friends. They saying, yeah, my mom acting weird, man. Da 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 da. Hey, these things happen with the children. The children, they mocking you. They tell you to go in that room and read that Bible. Dad, you're not even my dad anymore. You're always in that Bible. A lot of you guys as children, they start getting on you when you come into the truth. You got a lot of men saying, You know, you do want to play. You do want to you want to go get him a car on the Sabbath. You know, I'm gonna just do it for the kids. A lot of you Eves say I'm gonna just celebrate Christmas. It's for the kids. When did God say celebrate Christmas? It's for the kids in the Bible. So you can't let your children cause you to err as well. And that might be your firstborn son, your secondborn, right? That might be your only daughter. You cannot err against the laws and commandments for nobody. Verse 19, it says, all my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. And you used to love these people, right? We just gonna say it. Yeah, I used to love my family at one point in time. Used to always call mom you in the time of trouble. You get in trouble at school, you used to call, the first person you call is your mom. Right? We know you, Jake. First person you used to call on speed dial, I gotta call my mama. I want my mama. You used to love your mom. You used to take family photos with your pops, your grandma, your grandpa. You used to always go over your grandpa's house. Your sister Tawanda house. Right? You used to love these people. But this is what Job said. I'm going to read it again. Job 19:19. All my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. Now they're turned against you. Now the odds are against you. You used to love these men. Now it feels like that love is not there. Lord said all of this was going to happen. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Let's get another account. Right? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and verse 36. Classic. Right? Matthew chapter 10 and 36. It reads, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Right? We just read that in Micah. This is the point in verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And this is real letter. This is the words of Yahushua. The times is coming where it's gonna be manifest who really loves the Lord and who's just pretending in the truth. A lot of you brothers and sisters, you love your father and mother more than you do the Lord. Put them on a pedestal. Yes, the scriptures say honor your mom and your father. But anytime they're causing you to err and break the commandments of God, you got to say we're not dealing with that. It says, he that loveth his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Yeah, a lot of you men, you get your son, you get a nugget, and he's saying, Dad, what are we going to do with for my birthday? And then you kind of get stuck for a moment. Because you know a birthday is off according to the Bible. You know it's wrong, deep down subconsciously. Then you kind of give him a nugget. Then you kind of stop. And you just sit there for a minute. He said, Dad, what are we going to do for my birthday? Are we going to go out? Am I going to have a birthday party? And a lot of you men get weak. And he said, yeah, son, we could go to Dave and Buster's. But only this last time. Right? After this, we're not doing this no more. Then the Lord destroy you. So you can't love your son, your kids, right? Your mom, your dad, your father, whoever it is, more than you love the Lord. That connection that you have between you and the Most High, nothing shall be able to separate you between that connection. Hey, if anything separate me from that connection, hey, I'm gonna get upset, man. I'm gonna get angry. If I'm reading, I'm going through the breakdowns, the prophecies, and next thing you know, some wickedness and folly happened with my parents. Hey, I'm going to kind of get upset, man. Why? Because I truly love the Lord. Brothers and sisters, you got to truly love the Lord in the last days. And you got to have that firm, strong connection. Let's go to the book, Matthew, chapter 19. All right. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 19. Right. Matthew chapter 19 and verse number 29. It says, and every one that have forsaken houses right? When a lot of men, you come into the truth, you forsake a lot of things. Your house, you might just had a $2,000 to $7,000 condo. Everyone that forsaketh houses and brethren, right? Like I said, it was a brother. He told me, he said, you know what, my brother, we don't really talk no more because he said we don't smoke weed together no more, and he's mad at me. You got to be willing to forsake your brother or sisters, right? Brothers might have sisters, sisters might have sisters, and they're wicked. You know how Eve is in 2022. Eve want to hop on top of cars and shake their behind. The Lord said you got to be willing to forsake her, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Now, with this being said, what are you going to choose? What's more important? Your family, your kids, your grandpa, your uncle, your cousin? Is that more important than everlasting life? Hey, that's probably, that's more so the main reason why you in this truth. You kind of came in because you wanted to get everlasting life. You wanted to get the kingdom. Next thing you know, your family member is blocking that. Now you don't want to do this. You got to be willing to choose everlasting life over the Lord. That's why James, Peter, John, the 12 disciples, they're going to be ruling in the kingdom of heaven upon the 12 thrones. Why? Because they forsook everything they had and followed the Lord. Let me get that in Matthew chapter 4. Right? This is the book of Matthew chapter 4 and verse number 21. Right? And it's a mean account, man. Matthew 4 and 21. It says, and going on from thence, he saw other 2 brethren, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother. So you had James and John, right? They was in a ship with their father. It says James the son of Zebedee and John his brother in a ship with Zebedee their father, mending their nets, and he called them. So we don't know what was going on that ship, but 9 times out of 10, James and John, they having a good time with their father. They mending their nets. They're fishing. They everything is going well. That's what happened. Verse 22. Yahweh said, hey, let's go. Verse 22. And they immediately left the ship. So when the Lord said, come here, they left the ship. And that might be you. The Lord is calling you into this truth. Guess what? You have to leave. You got to stop what you're doing and follow the Lord. You might have to stop playing basketball. Right? Right? I used to play basketball. I had to stop. I had to give it up. Why? Because the Lord called me in, man. You might used to play football. You might used to be popular in the world. You have to straightway leave everything you have. It says, and they immediately left the ship and their father. So not only did these men leave the ship, they left their father. You might not even, their father could have been up there in age. Could have been 80 years old, 90 years old. They left their father. That says a lot. And that's why these men will be ruling in the kingdom. Because they forsook everything, man. The time is coming where you're going to have to forsake everything for the Lord. It says, and they immediately left the ship and their father and followed him. See that? So they left everything. Guess what? They followed the Lord. Yahweh Shah. Go to the book of Luke, chapter 21. All right. It's the book of Luke, right? Chapter 21 and verse number 16. Luke chapter 21 and verse 16. Now this is where it get deep at and interesting. Because this is prophecy, man. It's Luke 21 and 16. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents. So the Lord said you're going to be betrayed by your parents. So a lot of you Jakes and Eve that want to still hold buddy with your family in the world. Hey, a lot of men, They gonna be betrayed by their own parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends. And some of you shall they cause to be put to death. See that? So your own family, they're gonna cause you to be put to death. As a brother from another camp, you know, I talk to him often. He said he had a dream. This was his dream. He had a dream that it was Jacob's trouble, and you had Esau kick it down the door, and you know he kind of heard them, so he jumped out his window and hopped into a bush. And he said the first thing his mom did was point to his room and said, he's in there. That's what's gonna happen. Esau, he kicked down the door. He's saying, where is he? Where is he? Next thing you know, your mom, she's so scared. And your mom might set you up, man. Then she point to your room that she say you always be in, and you don't come out because you in a room reading the Bible all day. So then she point to the room and she said, he's in there. Get him. Hey, this thing's gonna happen. So if that happens, you might have some brothers and sisters, they might love them their father or their parents so much they start crying. They feel betrayed. That's why you can't get attached to these people. You gotta be spiritual, women and men. You can't be carnal. You can't look on the flesh. You have to look on the spirit. Right? And the Lord said, I believe that's Proverbs 17. It's like, let me see. The Lord said it's a brother that sticketh close. It's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. That might be Proverbs 18 and 24. Let me see real fast. Right? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and 24. Right? So, hey, man. Proverbs 18 and 24. It says, a man that have friends must shew himself friendly. Right? And there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Because you would have thought that these people are your family. They should automatically be on your side. You come into the truth, they should be supporting you. They're buying you fringes. They're getting your Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary. They're getting you a new Apocrypha, a Bible. But the Lord said, it's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Hey, you know, I would rather trust the brothers in my congregation than to trust my own family. That's just straight up. You might feel that. You might meet a new sister. It's your first time meeting her. You're 30 years old, and you just meet this sister in the truth. She's more faithful to you than your family that's literally been in your life your whole life. That's how it might feel, man. It's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. So when Jake say blood is thicker than water, you know, on a physical level, it kind of might be, but as far as that, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear blood is thicker than water. Because it be your own family, man. That's what's going to happen. A lot of men and women, they're going to get delivered up by their children, their mother, their father. And you have to be prepared spiritually right now for that. All right, let's go to Psalms. Right? It's like, let me get this in Matthew. I'm thinking of a lot of precepts. Let's go to Matthew chapter 12 and verse 46. All right? Matthew chapter 12 and verse number 46. This says, while he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brother stood without, desiring to speak with him. Right? Talking about Yahushua. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brother stand without, desiring. I'm going to read it again. It says, then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brother stand without, desiring to speak with thee. So they coming up to Yahushua. They said, Lord, hey, son, I need you. You know, the brother, hey, Yahushua's brother, they didn't even believe on him. Let me get that in John real fast. The Lord's own brother, they didn't even believe on him. And he created them. Let me get this in John real fast. Chapter 7. Right? It's the book of John. Chapter 7. and verse number 5. John chapter 7 and verse 5. It reads, "For neither did his brethren believe in him." And your family, they don't believe on you. You say, "Oh man, I'm just trying to get the kingdom." You really think your family wants you to get the kingdom of heaven? Right? Wants you to be a ruler over 10 cities? You really think your family wants you to go out there and wake up the people? No. They don't believe in you. They believe you're nothing. You're weird. We just saw that video. The mom kind of called her daughters and her dad an extremist. They think you're an extremist. You're a delinquent. You're a spectacle. You really think your family believe in you? No. If anything, it's your brothers and sisters that you're around and your congregate. They believe on you more than anybody else. So the Lord, his own brethren, didn't believe on him. Now, he did have brethren that believed, like James and Judas. But his other brethren, they didn't believe on the Lord. So going back to Matthew 12 and 48, this is what Yahushua said. Verse 48, "But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother? And who are my brother?" So the Lord, he's looking around. Who is my mom and my dad? Who's my mom and my brother? My kinfolk? Who are they? Verse 49, "And he stretched forth his hands toward his disciples and said, Behold my mother and my brother. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother." See, your true family is the people that's doing the will of the Heavenly Father. They're not doing the will, they're not your family. They might be your physical family, biologically, but through the spirit, they're not your family, man. You have to drill that through your head. I say a lot of you brothers and sisters, you get weak-minded. You start crying, right? Because you fell out with your family. And we don't care, man. We don't care if we fought. And I don't talk to my mom. I will go a week and I live in the same house as my father, and we just don't talk. And you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with not talking to your family, your uncle, your cousin, right? I just talked to my so-called cousin the other day. She said, "You never call, you never check in." Well, hey, I'm too busy doing the work of the Lord. I don't have time to go to Chick-fil-A and get a bite to eat. I don't have time to go to down Burger King and get a chicken sandwich. We don't have time, man. Time is running out. We don't have time for this. It's just straight grind time, and it's straight work time in the last days. That's just how it is, man. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 14. All right. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 14, and verse 26. You got to ask yourself, are you a true disciple of the Lord? It's the book of Luke, chapter 14, and verse number 26. It says, "If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple." Now that don't mean you gotta beat up your wife and uppercut her. Like the Lord said, I gotta hate my wife. Next thing you know, you getting the gloves from your closet and you kind of going, crazy on your wife, man. That's not what it's talking about. When it means hate, meaning if you're not putting the Most High first and you putting your family first, you're not worthy enough to be the disciple of the Lord. A lot of you jakes, you just let your women in the world just run loose. Say, man, that is my wife. We have been together for 26 years. Man, we fell in love. It was freshman year. It's at the freshman prom. Man, I don't know. The Lord not trying to hear excuses. The Lord don't care if that was your freshman crush from prom, right? Or your senior night dance. The Lord don't care about that. If your wife don't want to get in line with the will of the Most High, hey, it's time to sweep. A lot of people, you just got to start sweeping a lot of people. Leave them in the past. Because you're renewed after the image of the Lord. You're trying to be holy. You're trying to work righteousness. The Lord said in Amos 3:3, can two walk together except they be agreed? Meaning if you're not walking on the same mind as these people around you, then you don't need to be with each other. What the Lord said. Let's go to Psalms. Right? Let's go to Psalms. Chapter 27. Right? It's the book of Psalms. Chapter 27. Verse number 10. Right? It's the book of Psalms. Chapter 27. And verse number 10. It reads, when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. And on the deeper fold, the things that you're going through, like falling up with your wife, your uncle, your grandma, you're one step, you don't even know it, but you're one step closer coming to your house, coming to the Lord. I'm going to read it again. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Why? Because the Father, the Most High, He's a father to the fatherless. Right? He justifies the poor, the needy, the widows. And some of us, we don't have fathers on a physical level. Why? Because they're not in our life due to the curses. The Lord said, hey, I will take you up. And the Most High, it is what it is. The Most High, He's been a better father to me than my biological father. It is what it is. It's out there. So what? The Most High, He's been a better father to me than my biological father. He taught me so much. He taught me righteousness, discernment. He introduced me to wisdom, how to conduct myself as a man, how to be a servant, humility. And the Lord, He taught you everything you need. Jake, you think your father got to teach you, okay, son, this is how you do this. And, you're growing up to, your father kind of come in and tell you the birds and the bees. Now you think, your father telling you how to be a man because he's telling you the birds and the bees. No, everything is in the scriptures and in the Bible. The Lord, He tells you everything. He tells you how to move, how to conduct yourself, how to be on fire, how to move, right? There's nothing that the Lord can't teach you that man can, right? Let's go to the book of Malachi, chapter 3, right? So the question of the day is, are you going to let your family, your significant other, or anybody else stop you from serving the Lord? What are you going to do? It's the book of Malachi, chapter 3, and verse number 14. All right. Malachi chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 18. Malachi chapter 3 and verse 18. It says, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked. And this is what you have to do. To be a spiritual man and woman of the Lord, you have to discern between the righteous and wicked. Regardless if that's your wife. So what? So what if that's your husband, your kids, your parents? You have to discern between the righteous and the wicked. Reading on. Between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. So what you have to train your mind in the last days, you have to be able to discern who serves the Lord and who doesn't serve the Lord. If you serve the Lord, okay, that's cool. I could be around you. If you don't serve the Lord, I don't need you around me at all. But I'm cool with that. It's all up to the will of the Heavenly Father. Let's go to Sirach chapter 33. All right. Let's go to Sirach chapter 33, verse number 14. Right. Sirach chapter 33 and verse number 14. It reads, Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner. So what you men and you women gotta understand in the last days, you're against all evildoers. Everybody that's an evildoer, you're against. Only two options you could do. You can either get that evildoer to follow righteousness, or you could just simply stay away from him. You can't hang out with the evildoers of this world. That's madness. Let me get this in 2 Corinthians 6 real fast, right? A lot of men, you want to hang with the evildoers. Well, that's it. I mean, we just friends. That's my homeboy from the world. Brother, that's not your homeboy. We just read in Matthew 12 and 46 on down, your brethren, your friends, everybody that's your sisters, they're the people that do the will of the Father. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse number 14. It says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have the righteous with unrighteous? And what communion have light with darkness? Right? On a physical level, you would never, ever, ever, while you had a moon out, the sun is right by the moon saying, what's up, what's going on? I have never seen while the moon is out, the sun is sitting right next to it. That's how it is supposed to be with you in the truth. Shouldn't be hanging out, going to the mall with your damn stepdad, man, on the Shabbat, saying, well, we just getting time to connect right now. No, the Lord don't want to hear we need time to connect right now. It's either you with men that serve the Lord or you not with men that serve the Lord. And it's up to you. Are you gonna let these people around you and your family, your acquaintance, separate you from serving the Lord? And with that, right, we giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh. Lord willing, this video is edifying, man. Continue to read, pray, study, and most importantly, beseech the Heavenly Father for his sure mercies. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.